What's up, everybody? It's X Mortis, and finally, we are back for part 16 of A Beggar's Journey. It's really great to see you guys here for another episode. I'm really trying to work on my consistency with getting more videos out to you guys. But hey, we're not here to talk about my personal struggles. We're here to talk about DarkSydePhil. Of course, I want to thank every single one of you who shows love to me and my content. So if you enjoy these videos, then please be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this. Now, without wasting any more of your time, let's dive back into the lore of DarkSydePhil. Now, on October 21st, 2020, DSP was supposedly scammed by EA. He went on Twitter to whine about how he was robbed and EA were nothing more but greedy scammers. In the year that I've had EA Play/Access, I never used it once, so I've essentially just been robbed of $33. Would be nice to get that back, but I know I won't. Certainly didn't expect the free code giveaway on Twitch to be a scam, but I guess I fell for it. To anyone who got a free EA Play/Access subscription via code handouts on Twitch last year, warning, I was just charged a completely unauthorized $33, as those free subs auto-renew without you ever giving permission. No idea if I can get my money back now. You see, EA's Twitch account came into Phil's Plants vs. Zombies stream to give him and whoever was watching his stream at the time a free 1-year membership to EA Play.
And EA actually showed up while I was doing the Plants campaign and gifted a bunch of stuff to people, which was very nice of them. So
now, where this all goes wrong for DSP was when he got charged a staggering $33, since EA Play had an auto renewal set up by default. And I'm pretty sure Phil's lazy ass didn't even bother to check for that kind of thing, so he didn't know about it until it was all too late. So after Phil's default payment method was charged, he went on his pre-stream to cry over his lost $33.
Amnesia Rebirth, I just need to warn all of you guys of something pretty important. If you were someone who was watching my streams a year ago, okay, I don't know how many of you will be affected by this because I just was. And I don't want you guys to be hit by something you're not aware is going to happen. So, 1 year ago, around this time, alright, I was playing Plants vs. Zombies, okay? And I was one of the few people actually playing Plants vs. Zombies. A lot of people had just kind of gave it a shot and played it once or twice. And, anyway, the reason I'm saying this is very simple. It's bullshit. And you don't deserve to be charged for something you didn't authorize, like just happened to me. Okay? So 1 year ago, I'm sitting here on stream, I'm playing Plants vs. Zombies, whatever this game was. The official EA Twitch account came onto this channel and handed out a ton. It wasn't like one. They handed out like a ton of EA access codes to myself and my viewers. EA Play, EA Access, I don't even know what the hell it's called. Okay? And we thought it was something nice. Like, wow, what do we get? Are you going to get some free games? And yeah, it was basically your backlog. Your backlog of old EA games could be played via this subscription service or whatever it was. Normally, this is something I would obviously never do. Why would I pay a subscription service to play old EA games, right? It makes no sense. But they handed out all these 1 year free memberships. And by the way, that's how they explained it. They said, here, you're all getting a 1 year free membership code of EA Play, EA Access, whatever you want to call it. So, of course, everyone here did it. We all got the codes. We entered it into our PlayStation accounts, and we all got a free year of EA Play or whatever it's called. All right? Not once were we ever prompted during this that this was an auto-renew. Not once did they ever say you would ever be charged for it. It was, for example, if you get a PlayStation Network code for Xbox or for a year of PlayStation Network, and you enter it in, it gives you a year and then it expires. It doesn't set you up for an auto renewal. That's a scam, right? That is a definite scam. I never authorized it. I never signed an agreement saying I'm entering into a recurring service. Never. All I did was enter in a code. It said get 1 year of EA whatever, and I signed up. That was it. Okay? So I just got charged for a year renewal. That's bullshit. I never authorized it. Not once, because if it was, I would not have done it. When I was entering the code, if it said this is setting you up for auto renewal, I would have denied it because I didn't need the EA Play or EA Access anyway. In fact, I've never used it. In the whole fucking year that I had it, I never used a damn thing. All right? This is a scam. This is, oh, let's go on Twitch and hand out a bunch of our free codes in the hope that no one will pay attention and they'll all get charged next year for it. That is one of the most underhanded fucking ways I've ever seen a game company make money ever. And I'll tell you this right now, if the official EA account ever comes back to my streams, I will permanently fucking ban them from this chat. I am not going to have my viewers or myself scammed by a company trying to make a fucking buck on behalf of my viewership. They can go fuck themselves. All right? That is bullshit. So how much was it? $32.99 plus tax. So like 30, like what is that? 33, I think it's probably like $35, right? Fuck that. Seriously. Absolutely no way is a company going to come in here and fucking scam myself and my viewers $35. I guarantee you I'm not the only one. Because everyone got one. Everyone who was watching me play Plants vs. Zombies got a code. And we probably all entered it thinking, oh, this is great, a freebie, you know. That is fucked up, right? And I did, and by the way, to confirm, I never entered any payment information for this thing. What happened was it was a PlayStation Network code. You entered the code and it gave you the year, but it set it up behind the scenes automatically without telling you to auto renew, and it auto charged whatever your default payment method is for PlayStation Network. That's illegal. That is fucking illegal. So fuck EA, and I'm never having them come in here ever again. I hope they don't get any fucking ideas of trying to scam myself or my viewers, because they're out of here. That's the most underhanded thing I've ever heard in my fucking life. Do I really think that I'm going to get my money back? No. Because I can't complain to EA. The only place I can complain to is PlayStation Network. That's it. So I'm not going to get my money back. I just got robbed of $35. Which sucks because we're at $51 in tips. So guess what? Guess what I got screwed over with again for? You see, every day this is ridiculous. Now, I get charged back by motherfuckers behind the scenes. Now today, we're having a good stream. Oh, more than half the money you raised today is gone now, Phil, because these motherfuckers scammed you. Right? I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. I can't call my card company because it charged my fucking PayPal account. That was my default method of payment for PlayStation Network, and PayPal is not going to reverse the charges. So I got fucked. Anyway, that's just, I wanted to tell you and warn you. All right? I guess if it sounds too good to be true, you're fucked. If it sounds too good to be true, you're fucked. Don't ever accept it. I'm not anymore. I'm done with it. I'm not falling for any more bullshit. I had to log into my PlayStation account and go to the subscriptions tab, which no one ever would even look at. And there it is. I have an EA Play subscription. No, I don't. I never signed up for it, you piece of shit. So I turned it off auto renew. Now I have an EA Play for another year. Guess how many times I'll use it? 0. So they fucked me. Unreal.
It's funny to see what Phil's definition of a scam is. Lying about the fact that you have a cat and only revealing him once you receive $2,000 isn't a scam. Telling your fans that you were going to bring back a beloved web series for over $1,000 of Patreon money and then completely dropping the idea once you pocketed everything also isn't scamming. But forgetting to cancel your membership and only losing $33 is classified as a scam in Phil's book. This whole ordeal is just complete nonsense, and it's entirely DSP's fault for not reviewing the terms of the membership and just accepting it blindly. Plus, it was pointless since he got the money back and then some thanks to his pay pigs. Now we move on to the Halloween stream, and this year, we received what I believe is the worst Halloween costume DSP has ever come up with. The first Halloween costume he brought out, and yes, there were 2 costumes this year, was the Colonel Sanders outfit.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? Hello. Hi. I'm Colonel Sanders, and I'm here to welcome you to the Halloween Marathon for 2020. Yoo-hoo! You ready for this, boy? I hope you're ready for this. There's something wrong with my mustache. It looks like something's a little crooked here. Something's happening. I don't know. Anyway, welcome. My camera's a little off, but that's okay. The camera will be aimed properly for when I start playing games. Ladies and gentlemen, usually you find me in the kitchen cooking chicken, but today, something special for you. I'm going to be here on stream all day long playing spooky style scary games with you. A holiday, special holiday event. Halloween 2020, everybody. Oh, shit. So, I'll do my best. There may be a few difficulties along the way. Maybe I need to get some extra grease from the kitchen to fix my attachments, but this should be a fun event. This should be a fun event regardless, even if my mustache ain't exactly right. Holy shit. People are going nuts, of course. How you doing?
This costume really showcased how much effort DSP puts into his Halloween streams. For as much money as this nigga makes per month, he can't be bothered to go out and buy a semi-decent costume to put on. Instead, he goes with some bargain bin fake ass Colonel Sanders outfit with a weak ass mustache that couldn't even stay up on his face.
Alright, you ready? Alright, I hope we're... Oh, what's going on here? Oh, shit. One of the ghoulies is pulling on my mustache. He's invisible, though. You can't see him. It's invisible ghoulie. Pulling on my damn mustache. You can get him off there, boy.
Another thing that makes this costume so memorable was Phil putting on this terrible southern accent and the overuse of the word boy.
We gotta save these college kids. They're in trouble, boy. We gotta save these college kids. We gotta get them the hell out of this town. Maybe that dead Amy come out of there trying to get us with her chains, boy. Doodle Dread says the accents, the mannerisms are getting tiring. Doodle Dread, you know what's tiring? Yo ass, shut the hell up, boy. Frog Detective Cheers said, look down at the chat. I see boy, it's gonna be ban, and we move on. Oh, there ain't gonna be no banning. I'm gonna unleash the fries on these boys. Come on.
I feel like I'm never gonna
we
get
need help, boy. Excited for the Halloween stream, digging a slave owner. I'm not no slave owner, boy. I make chicken.
Now, I don't think DSP was trying to offend people with this. I just think that he's a moron that doesn't understand how bad it looks to be saying that word, dressed like that, and using that kind of accent. Now, despite all the glaring issues with this costume, I don't actually believe that this was the worst one. It's the one that comes after.
I really enjoyed Little Hope. And I want to say thank you to you guys who hung out with me so far today and had a good time. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to the stream. Alright? But I have a special surprise for you. Alright? Special surprise for the stream viewers. Something that was not announced, and you guys are not expecting this whatsoever. Alright? Are you ready? I hope you're ready. Alright, get ready. Hello, everyone. I am Barry Burton, STARS member, and I am here to eliminate the ghoulies and ghosties from Halloween 2020. Of course, Barry Burton, if he's going to come around and try to eliminate the zombies, he's got a little friend that has to come with him, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, that's right, baby. That's right. A pop gun, of course. So yes, a second Halloween costume. I got my STARS badge with me, my credentials. I've got the red vest and the gunner glasses, along with the signature giant magnum handgun that Barry would always have with him. Alright? Now you may be saying, what the hell? Why does Phil have 2 Halloween costumes this year? Well, there's 2 reasons why I have 2 Halloween costumes. The first reason is because you guys were very, very close in the voting of how you wanted to see me wear a costume this year. In fact, video game character was super duper close with pop culture icon. It was like neck and neck and neck for the longest time, and it kind of went back and forth for a while. Alright, so I felt it would make sense to kind of reward you guys with kind of doing both. At the very same time, alright, I wanted to have a Halloween costume that could implement the reward tiers if we happen to hit the tips goals for today, which we did. So this outfit, actually in character, matches the tips goals with both the gunner glasses and the vest. Alright? And then in addition to all of that, this just kind of worked out perfectly. And the reason that it worked out perfectly is because the Colonel Sanders outfit disintegrated during the course of Little Hope. I hadn't thought that I was going to be playing a 2.5-hour game with that thing on. And the glue melted off my face. I couldn't keep the beard on anymore. So I was like, thank God I had a backup outfit for the rest of the stream. Because can you imagine if I was just trying to wear that fucking beard for the rest of the stream, how bad that would have went? So I hope you guys enjoyed the Colonel Sanders costume. But for the entirety, or the remaining entirety of the Halloween stream for 2020, Barry Burton, Yeah, we're here to end the zombie apocalypse once and for all. Ooh, it's not good to look in your gun.
This dude was so lazy and uncreative that he basically just reused the tips go reward as a way of not having to buy another costume. It was at this moment that I came to realize that Phil was beyond cheap and that he absolutely had no motives to make even his gimmick streams the least bit entertaining. And speaking about being entertaining, what kind of horror themed games do you think DSP will play for Halloween? Apparently Team Fortress 2, where the only spooky thing that happened for DSP was trolls showing up during his matches with very suggestive names. This caused Phil to throw a hissy fit and claimed that his chat was begging for him to get off the game to play something else, while also bashing PC gaming as well.
I knocked him off the map and then I died. God damn it. God damn it. Now people are already saying they're bored. I knew this was going to happen. I seriously knew this was going to happen. I'm playing an old school FPS. People would like to give me for 10 seconds and then complain that they're bored. I knew this would happen. Thanks. Oh my god. These guys are just being stupid trolls. I got sniped again. Is it a dispenser? Is that what it is? You need a dispenser to make more metal, and then you can get more metal to upgrade it. I see. Alright, well, obviously I'm going to quit now because we got morons, you know. Morons who are not allowing me to play because they're just going to stand there spamming stupid fucking pans because they're idiots. Jay Bowler wants Dino Crisis. Already, dude, we haven't even played for like a half an hour. We've only played for 25 minutes, and you guys are already yelling for Dino Crisis. Do you understand why I don't like including PC games? I mean, I'm just saying. You understand why, right? You see what a waste of fucking time this is? All the work I put into getting this game to work, I played it for what? 25 minutes, you guys already want another game. Do you understand why I don't want to do PC games anymore? It's a complete fucking waste of my time. You get that, right? I had to move all the equipment over here and everything. What was the fucking point? Alright. Well, 90% of the stream chat is complaining they hate this. Seriously, I'm not kidding. After people nominating games for a month, alright? And this being one of the top nominated games, people are complaining about it. So I'll do one more game, I guess, and then we'll call it a night for this. It sucks because it took so much effort to get this working on my PC, and then moving over here to the PC setup takes time and effort, and I'm going to have to move all the shit back, but people don't want to see this, so whatever. Alright, whatever. We'll do one more game, and then we'll just fucking move back. This is why I always say I don't want to do PC gaming. It's not worth the time and effort. It's not worth the time and effort to get this working to play it for fucking 30 minutes. It's just not, you know? Okay, I feel like people voted for everything to see me get trolled. Seriously. I feel like every game that was nominated for this event were people trying to troll. I feel that way. Oh my god, I was standing there. Alright, well, I guess that's it. Seriously, everyone in chat's just complaining. So, you know, I can only put up with so much. If everyone's just gonna sit there fucking complaining, saying they don't want to watch it, then I'm not gonna play it anymore. I'm sorry. Everyone wanted it, so I fucking went out of my way to get it, and now people don't want it. Whatever. I don't care. I really don't care. We'll go fucking play Dino Crisis, whatever. Alright.
Now, as we get ready to head into November of 2020, Sony was about to get ready and release their highly anticipated PlayStation 5. With all the hype and buzz surrounding the console, DSP of course made it his mission to get his hands on the system as soon as he possibly could. And on September 17, 2020, he pre-ordered the console live on stream.
Okay, I'm getting it. Look at this. Place your order. Let's see if this works. My order has been placed. I had to get the disc edition. I couldn't get the digital. I had to get the disc edition. The digital link doesn't work. There was a digital link, so I got it off of someone was posting up on let's see here. Yeah, I think I got it. I'm pretty sure I just got it. I got the disc edition. The digital edition wouldn't work. I think I got the disc edition. I think I just got it. I'm going to confirm. Let me confirm by going manually to Amazon.com. outside of this. I actually got it. It's legit. I got it. I got your confirmation email, your Amazon order. I got it. Nice. Well, thank you to everyone who spammed the chat saying that it was live. The link people were giving wasn't the one I used.
He's probably dead already.
Yeah, the link that you guys gave me wasn't the one I used. I went to Twitter, and yeah, on Twitter people were posting a link, and I used it, and I got it. I just got it. Dude, I got the disc edition, which, I mean, I'll be honest, it's not that bad. I don't need the disc edition, but I guess this way, later on, if I ever want to get used games or whatever, I can. I'm probably never going to use the disc drive, just being honest. I'm probably never going to fucking use it. But I guess it's better than not getting it at all, right?
So you would think that would be it, right? He begs for money, he buys the PS5, and now the only thing he has to do is wait for Sony to release the console. But of course, this is Phil we're talking about, so you should know he's gonna find a way to fuck this up. Well, on November 11, 2020, this dumbass went on to state that there was a problem with the delivery of his PS5. Apparently what happened was while Amazon was doing the usual shipping process, DSP changed the default payment method for his account. Now you may be asking, why would Phil change the payment method if he already bought the console? Well, number one, he's stupid as fuck. Number two is because at the time he was dealing with the whole chargeback saga, and when he paid for the PlayStation, he paid using his PayPal debit card. So when he updated his payment method, it caused a delay to happen with his pre-order.
Now, let's talk about the PlayStation 5. Let's talk about what happened. Yes, I've been screwed, and I want to tell you guys the full story in depth so you know exactly what's going on here. All right. And understand why I can't cover it at launch. At least it's looking like I'm not going to be able to. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but chances are the answer is no. So let's explain. I pre-ordered the PlayStation 5 along with many of you on a stream on September 16th, 2020. We were playing Batman Arkham City, on that late stream. And as we were playing it, I was provided with a link, which people were saying, this is the link to pre-order PS5, go, go, go. So we all did it, and it was me and a bunch of people who all pre-ordered. I mean, Turtle Dudes, Spartan King, among many other people. I believe it was about a dozen or more people. We all pre-ordered our PS5s exactly the same time via this link, okay? Now, when this happened, I had all of my default Amazon stuff set up, my default payment method, my everything set to defaults, okay? My default payment method for Amazon was my PayPal debit card, meaning my PayPal account where I take tips in and everything. and you know, back in September, I was paying for everything with my PayPal card. You know, all the tips that came in was what was paying for the cost of games and everything, and I had foreseen this would be no problem at all. You know, this is going to be how I'm going to pay for it, okay? This was 2 months ago, though, and a lot has changed in 2 months, as I'm about to explain to you guys, all right? So, my pre-order sat there, said it looked good, you know, everything was fine, and over the course of the last 2 months, a lot of things changed, you know? Sadly, I had a lot of troll activities on the stream. Someone or multiple people, I don't know, but basically false tips coming in under varied names. Sometimes it was impersonating other stream chatters and regulars. Sometimes it was just insulting names. But basically, someone found a way to break the law, purchase a bunch of stolen credit card numbers over the internet. All right? Send me a ton of fake tips. $100 tips, $500 tips, $1,000 tips. And they're all stolen credit cards that did this. Express checkout via PayPal. So when they did all this, all right, what it did is it overinflated my income. Now, I didn't know what tip's real, what tip isn't. Whenever a big tip, a giant tip came in, and it was unverified, is this a stream chatter or not, usually I would just refund it right away. But I didn't really catch on to this happening until, I'd say, the first to second week of October. I kind of caught on that this was happening, and I realized I was going to get a ton of chargebacks against my account. So when these started coming in, I just started refunding them all, and I turned off the on-screen notifications for tips. Reason being, this person was saying absolutely vile, disgusting things. It's obvious this person is mentally ill. That, number one, they think that it would be okay to constantly break the law and use stolen credit card numbers. This is multiple counts of fraud over the internet. Huge crime. If this person's ever get caught, they're going to jail for a very long time. But they were also saying absolutely disgusting things about myself and my family in the messages that would pop up when they tipped. Okay? So that's why you guys might have noticed for the last month, there's no pop-up messages for tips anymore. I had to turn it off so that if this person continues to do so, which they did, they wouldn't get any attention for it. All right? So what happened was, for about a month and a half, this person did this on and off. All right? And finally, I got wise to it. And so when these fake tips started coming in, I would just immediately refund them, and basically it stopped negatively affecting the streams. You know, if you notice, look at the last 3 weeks or so or more of content, we haven't seen anything negative happen as a result of this anymore. Okay? So that's the good news. The bad news is, since this person had been doing this behind the scenes for about a month and a half to 2 months, and I wasn't aware of it until early October, last month I started getting systematically hit with chargeback after chargeback after chargeback against my PayPal account. This screws up my PayPal account. It makes it so that sometimes I'm constantly in the red. It makes it that there's all kinds of disputes that are locked up. And essentially, it makes that PayPal account unusable. All right? It makes it that this thing is completely screwed up for a long time. It's going to take me a long time to get that PayPal account fixed. So, my PS5 pre-order was locked and supposedly was going to work. All right? Last night, I'm sitting here on stream. And people say, hey, Phil, our Amazon pre-orders are starting to be billed now. Like, we're actually getting charged for the PlayStation 5. Can you check and see if yours is? Okay. I'm like, oh. All right, let me go check. So I looked and checked, and I had not been billed yet. So I was like, okay, I'm not billed yet. Fair enough. But I checked, and when I checked, I wanted to double-check everything. I wanted to make sure this order was good to go. That the shipping method was still marked as 2-day shipping or, you know, as quickly shipping method. And when I looked at that, I said, oh, wow, wait a minute. It was kind of a revelation. I was like, the billing method that I've got to pay for this PlayStation 5 is my PayPal debit card. Because remember, when I had pre-ordered it 2 months ago, things were very different. I had not received a ridiculous amount of chargebacks or anything. Okay? Instead, it was actually the opposite situation. It was that I had tons of funds available in my PayPal account all the time, and I had intended to pay for the PlayStation 5 with my PayPal account at that time. Okay? Sadly, that's not the case. Because here's what happens when you pre-order something on Amazon. I hope you all learned something from this because I didn't know this, and this is what has screwed me over. When you pre-order something on Amazon, the payment method locks into whatever the default payment method was when you pre-ordered it. All right? Even if you change things. Even if you change things. All right? In the system to change the default payment method, your pre-order is locked into the payment method that was the default when you created it. All right? That's not good. So I checked this last night, and I was like, oh, crap. This is wrong. You know what I mean? This is not good. I need to change this because it says the PayPal debit card, and there is not enough money in my PayPal account to pay for the PlayStation 5. I have to update this immediately. So I did last night, live on stream. I updated it to be my debit card for my bank account. Okay? And when I did that, absolutely nothing happened at all to my 3D Pulse headset order. It still says arriving tomorrow by 10 p.m. It'll be processed and shipped, and everything's fine. Okay? So then I do it for the PlayStation 5, and it says, your PlayStation 5 order is now going to arrive on Monday. What? I was nervous. I was like, what the hell's going on here? Now, overnight, people have told me, Phil, guess what? I'm someone, Sir Spartan King's one of them, and Turtle Dude is one of them. They said, we're people who actually pre-ordered our PlayStation 5s, and we ordered them the same time you did, via your stream. We all collectively clicked on the same link on that Batman Arkham City stream, and we all pre-ordered at exactly the same time. They've told me they have now been charged for the PlayStation 5, and in the system it's showing that their consoles either are preparing for shipment or already have shipped or have a shipping label generated. They're good to go. They're getting theirs tomorrow. Okay? I wake up this morning, I check, nothing's updated. It still says I'm getting the PlayStation 5 on Monday. So I go crazy trying to find a way to contact Amazon customer service. Everything on their website is automated. Talk to a bot. The bot won't help you. All the bot will do is cancel your order. That's it. I can't even find a method by which to contact them. You know, I can't find anything. I'm like, I don't know what to do here. How am I, and luckily, and I want to say shout out to the person. I don't want to publicly say who they are just in case, but shout out to the person who this morning actually provided me with the link that you can click on. And that link allowed me to contact Amazon via phone. All right. So I contacted them via the phone this morning. And first I explained the situation to the first person. They said, I have no idea how to help you. I'm going to transfer you to someone else. Okay. Then they put me in contact with the second person. The second person basically said, okay, I'm going to do everything I can in my power to help you. So first thing they tried to do was actually figure out the delivery date. And when they looked into it, they said, well, the way that Amazon pre-orders work is that even though you're seeing a date in the system, that's not the guaranteed date. There is no guaranteed date for pre-orders at all. Even though there's a pre-order guarantee, until you're actually charged for your order, there's no guarantee on delivery at all. So Amazon actually has this process. Just think about this. They have a process, it's called a pre-order guarantee. That if you pre-order an item, you're guaranteed to get it on release day. But it actually isn't. It's a lie. Because I was outright told on the phone, we don't legally guarantee you anything until your order charges. Once your order charges, now you have a guaranteed delivery date. And if we don't live up to that, then we're basically liable for compensation. So their actual process is a lie. They don't have any pre-order guarantee at all. They just say, oh, well, that's just an estimate, and therefore we're not actually legally liable on anything because it was just an estimate to begin with. Okay? So that was kind of interesting that they kind of fessed up to that to me in the call. All right? So, then they said, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to figure out what happened here. And the person said, the best thing I can tell you is that you might still get it because you're showing in the system as a Amazon Prime customer. It shows that you ordered on September 16th. By changing my payment method, yes, it delayed the system's ability to charge me, but that doesn't mean that it will delay my delivery of the item. It just means that it delayed the charge. So when the unit actually does charge, there's definitely a chance I'll still get it tomorrow. Even though the system says Monday, that's a way for the system to kind of pad itself and not promise like I've been telling you guys on streams. You under-promise and you over-deliver, right? Under-promise, over-deliver. So Amazon is under-promising. Even though I may get the PlayStation 5 tomorrow, they don't want to promise that. They want to say, oh, it's coming on Monday. Okay? So, because I changed my payment method, the actual charging for the system and shipment of the system was delayed, but it doesn't mean that I'm not necessarily getting it tomorrow. It just means that it's definitely gonna be processed a little bit later. Okay, when they can't tell me, because that's what I said. I said, well, can you guarantee me that this will be charged and processed and shipped today or tomorrow? And they said, no, we don't control that at all. Customer service has zero control over that. That's our logistics center that does that. You know, they handle that, not us. And I said, well, is there a way that you could force the order? Could you actually charge me now for the order? And maybe that would do something in your system and kick it to the shipment team and they would prepare the shipment and everything. Okay? Excuse me. So, they looked into that. They put me on hold for a very long time. They came back and said, we spoke with our card processing team. The answer is no. They can't do that. That pre-order, if it was a regular order, yes. Pre-orders, no, they can't do that. If this were a standard order, they actually could have forced the order, but they can't do that with a pre-order because pre-orders are dependent on stock in the warehouse, not dependent on them pushing an order to prompt the stock in the warehouse to move. It's actually the warehouse that determines the charge. Okay? So they couldn't help me in that regard. And I said, well, then what do I do next? I need to know when I'm getting my PlayStation 5. So the guy said, I'm going to transfer you to a supervisor because a supervisor either has the ability to actually see stock and maybe see if you're actually going to get it or not, or they may be able to further compensate you. Okay? All right, fine. So I get transferred to a supervisor. All right. And I talked to his supervisor, and we have a very lengthy conversation. And what I want to say, and I do want to be as honest and upfront with everyone as possible here, I do feel that Amazon is trying to do the right thing. Okay. I do feel that Amazon is trying to make this right, and they did as much as they absolutely could. Okay. I do not fault anyone that I talked to Amazon today. They don't make the system. All right. They have nothing to do with the automated system. They have nothing to do with having a payment method being changed, bumping my delivery till next week. They have nothing to do with it at all. They're just trying to help. They did everything they possibly could to help me. I was on the phone for an hour, and they really wanted to help me. They couldn't. All right? It's not within the power of the customer service team at Amazon to fix this. They tried everything. They talked to multiple different departments and everything. And basically, by the time that I was done with the call, all right, they were like, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do to help you, but we're hoping that it will still process either today or tomorrow, and you'll get it on Thursday. If not, according to our system, you should get it on Monday. All right?
Now, to any other person, this would have been no big deal whatsoever. Remember, during this time, we were facing a massive chip shortage, and getting your hands on the PS5 or even the Xbox Series X was extremely difficult, especially with all the scalpers selling the box to make things even harder than it already was. So the average person would have been thrilled to know that they managed to successfully pre-order the console, and the slight delay wouldn't have been that much of a problem. But the DarkSydePhil, this minor delay was detrimental to his streaming career. He was heartbroken by this revelation, to the point he had to cry and complain about this to his fans. But we all know what really had him so beside himself was the fact that he wasn't going to be able to get those day one views. He was depending on his console, like it was magically going to bring in this large herd of pay pigs, as if there weren't hundreds of other streamers who was going to do the exact same thing he would do. And he literally admitted to this too, that he was afraid that if he didn't get his hands on the PS5 day one, then his pay pigs were going to go somewhere else.
Now, I explained to them the situation. I said, you have to understand, I'm a live streamer, and I am now going to potentially lose out on an entire weekend of coverage of the PlayStation 5. People are telling me that if I don't cover it on launch day, they're going to go elsewhere to watch other people cover it. That is a giant blow for my business. We're talking potentially losing thousands of views and potentially losing lots of money. All right, just being honest. You guys were geared up and ready to watch me cover the launch of the PlayStation 5. And this is now potentially going to hurt my business in a very, very big way. Because people are now going to say, well, if Phil doesn't get this on launch day, I'm going to go watch someone else, right? Let's be honest here. That's what people told me that outright in the chat yesterday, overnight on Twitter. They're saying, that's what I'm going to do, Phil. Sorry, I was going to support you, but since you can't get it on launch day, I'm just going to go somewhere else. That's not good. That's not my fault that this is happening, and now my business is being negatively affected.
So after telling everyone that Amazon wasn't at fault for what happened with his PS5 order, he of course goes on to blame Amazon for why this went wrong.
So, after explaining the situation to Amazon, first they tried to weasel out of it. And be honest here, they did. They tried to weasel out of it, and they're like, yeah, but you got to understand as a customer that we don't promise a release date. I said, I don't care. I don't care what you promise or what you don't. Your system is what screwed up here, not me. I did not authorize that you bump my pre-order just because I changed my payment method. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. I had an outdated payment method in the system. I want to be sure my order processes properly. So I give you correct information to bill me, and you punish me for it. That is not the way to treat a customer, especially someone like me who's been a longtime Amazon Prime customer, someone who relies on Amazon to give accurate delivery on items for my business all the time. And I have to now go, and I explained this to them. I said, I have to now go on stream today. And I have to explain to my audience of hundreds of people, and of course, once this pre-stream gets ripped and posted all over the internet, thousands of people will hear about it. They're going to want to know what happened. Why didn't I get my PS5? I need to know what to tell them, and I need to have a resolution. Not that you guys just blow it off, because that's going to make you look bad.
But believe it or not, it gets even better. Because not only was it Amazon's fault for the delay, it was, of course, the troll's fault as well.
I'm stressed out to the max at this point. I'm serious, like I am. This is basically next to worst case scenario. next to worst case scenario. It's not worst case scenario, but it's next to worst case scenario. Where I went out of my way 2 months ago to pre-order this thing as soon as I could. I had it locked in for months, and because of the way the Amazon system works, that does not logically make sense, and it certainly does not benefit a customer in any way, shape, or form. I got screwed over because of the amazing amount of chargebacks that I got screwed over. Because if you really want to look at the root cause of the situation, because I know this sounds weird, but I used to do this for a living. I did root cause analysis because I was part of continuous improvement, achieving competitive excellence, ACE, at the company I used to work for, the helicopter company. And when you see a situation like this, you took it the whole process from start to finish. You say, what is the real root cause of the problem? All right. Well, the problem didn't originate in September. When I locked in this pre-order in September, everything was good. The payment method was correct because I had funds in my PayPal at the time. There was no issue, right? You can look at the end of the process and you could say, well, it was Phil's changing of his pre-order method, or excuse me, payment method for his pre-order that prompted Amazon's system to bump his delivery date. So it's Phil's fault, all right? What you really need to look at is the root cause, okay? Why did I have to change my payment method? Well, I explained that to you right now in this pre-stream. Because a malicious piece of garbage fucked me over the last 2 months with a ridiculous amount of fake tips using stolen credit cards, and decided to then charge them all. Well, didn't decide to charge them all back, but knew they would all be charged back. All right? That's what happened. If it weren't for this person breaking the law, the amount of times they did, and I'm talking, this is probably about 100 times, 100 fake tips I received over the course of about a month and a half to 2 months with stolen credit cards, none of this would have happened. The payment method still would have been all right. The order would have been processed fine, and I would have had my PlayStation 5 tomorrow. The only reason I had to change my payment method was because that person broke the law to send me fake tips with stolen credit card over the past 2 months. That is the root cause analysis. All right? So, once again, I get fucked because people think it's okay to fuck with me over the internet. And ladies and gentlemen, I've had it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be very honest and transparent with all of you right now. I am overwhelmed at this point. Okay? I am. Last night, I felt incredibly depressed because I said it happened again. It's another situation where my life, my business is being massively negatively affected by people who I don't know, by people who I don't understand why they hate me, why people want to hurt me on a daily basis. This goes beyond, oh, I want to troll Phil by making a video making fun of him. This is actual calculated malice. This is a targeted attack against myself, my business, my livelihood. Because I cannot cover the PlayStation 5 at launch, I am going to lose a lot of revenue that I should have earned this weekend. And now I don't even know if I'm getting the PlayStation 5. And it's this, whoever this person is, I don't know who it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. It'd be one thing, wow, this is someone who felt really hurt in the past. You know, he really screwed this person over, and now they've got a vendetta against him. I don't know who these people are. And they're not physically selling PS5 consoles anywhere. They already announced there are no physical PS5 consoles being sold. You have to order them online. So it's not like I can just, tomorrow I could go to a bunch of stores in the morning, see if I can get one. No stores are selling them online because of COVID. You had to have pre-ordered online. You cannot get them in stores unless you have a pre-order. All right? So it is what it is. Come, please, if you like this, if you like me, you like my content, sorry that I can't cover the PS5 this weekend. Come to the streams. Support the streams if you can this weekend. I'll be playing all new releases, Yakuza, Assassin's Creed, Black Ops Cold War, and we'll see what happens over the weekend. And if I get my PS5 on Monday, great. If not, I'm at the whim of whenever Amazon decides to deliver it. Amazon has done what they can in their power. Their system is automated and stupid and doesn't work properly. The fact that I got bumped to begin with doesn't make any sense. But it is what it is. Customer service reps, I can't get mad at. They don't control the system. The customer service rep actually gave me Amazon credit because he felt bad, you know? So, that's what I can say. That's it. That's the situation.
So with PS5 delays, Midfirst Bank winning their case against DSP, and dealing with chargebacks coupled with fake tips, it was starting to make DSP a little bit salty. So as expected, he goes back to shit talking some of the content creators who got to play the PS5 early. And as usual, he did the real streamer routine, and goes on to say that if Sony asked him to review the PS5 early, he wouldn't accept the deal unless he got to be honest with his viewers.
First of all, it's very true that people who got PlayStation 5 2-3 weeks ago were under an embargo. They were not allowed to just openly talk about the console at all. Every day they were allowed to talk about a certain feature of the console under a very strict restriction schedule. I'm not kidding. This is day by day. They had a day by day schedule they had to follow for this thing. And then the actual open reviews were allowed to be released. I believe it was Sunday or Monday. I forget. It was basically just a day or two ago. Now those reviews were able to be positive, or excuse me, were able to be honest and negative if they wanted to. Of course, if you got a 3-week early PlayStation 5 console, do you really think you're going to review it negatively? No, of course not. You want to be able to stay in Sony's good graces and be able to continue to get early shit from them. So of course you're going to kiss their ass. And that is the problem with this whole early adopter, early influencer bullshit system. Okay? Welcome to Snap City Cheers. If Sony offered you a PS5 early, you would decline it. That would be tough to do. It's very simple. If Sony offered me an early PS5, I would say to them, I will only accept this if you allow me to be honest about the console. If I have a criticism, I want to be able to give it. And if they say, no, there's a review embargo, you can't give a criticism when you get it, I would decline. I would say I don't want it. That's the God's honest truth. I can't not be honest. I can't just be a PR machine. I can't be a fucking paid advertisement. I'm just not me. That's never been me. I don't want that. I don't want to get something early and then not be able to be honest about it. That is not me. That's never been me as a content creator, and it never will be me. And why do you think, right, I am not ever going to be featured or favored by these companies? Because they don't want a content creator like me. They want someone who's going to play by their rules. They want someone who will get the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X 3 weeks early and sit there every day and only put out positive things about it per their strict requirements, and basically kiss the console's butt for 3 weeks straight. And I'm not going to do that. You guys know I'm not going to do that. That's not who I am. That's not what I'm about. That's not who I'll ever be. I am here not because I have corporate backing, not because the publishers of games like me. I'm here because of you. All right? And this is being nice, open, and honest with you. All right? I'm here because of you, the viewer. You guys, for 12 years, have kept me going. And especially these last 4 years that I've been a full-time streamer, it's your crowdfunding support that allows me to do what I do. It's not because I sold out and I'm kissing someone's butt. It's because you guys are here for me. That's why I'm different. That's what I like about what I do, is that I can be me and I can be honest every single day that I'm here. I can be honest with you guys. Okay? And now here we go with this, with the nonsense and misinformation. Didn't you advertise a gaming chair that you didn't even have yet? No. I didn't advertise it. I said I have a partnership with them. Give the site a look, and when I get my free chair, I'll review it honestly. Fact of the matter is, folks, it doesn't really affect me because guess what? I mean, I got the chair. I got the chair already. That's why I didn't do a lick of promotion until I got the chair. And I talked to the guy upfront about this, the possibility of nasty shit happening. And he said, no, I understand. Don't worry, we'll put up with it. It is what it is, guys.
And it doesn't stop there. This nigga even goes on to state that with his status as a streamer, he could have gotten the PS5 if he really wanted to, but he didn't because he didn't want to snake his fans.
Cool. Last Rambo 341 cheers, said responding to yesterday's pre-stream, being honest is nice, but being too honest can be detrimental. Company sponsoring you can help you financially. That should be priority and set pride aside. Has nothing to do with pride. It has to do with quality. It has to do with being honest. I am an honest person. I'm a person who feels that he puts out quality content. For me to basically only tell you half truths about the PlayStation 5 for 3 weeks because I got an early copy is not who I am. it would make me feel dishonest, and it would make me actually feel immoral. I'm sorry, that's just who I am. That's why I don't seek out early copies of games. That's why I don't seek out early copies of consoles, despite the fact that I have a very dedicated viewing audience who I influence. I'm an influencer, right? As much as I hate that term, I know I am an influencer. I've been around for 12 years. Almost everyone who does content creation on the internet knows who I am. Whether it's for good or bad reasons, they know who I am. I am a person with notoriety, all right? If I wanted to get a PlayStation 5 early, I could have gotten one. I would have reached out to Sony PR and worked with them and gotten it. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to sit here and be dishonest with you guys for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I need to tell you my opinions on a console. Quite frankly, I probably would have been the first and only person on the internet to tell you guys that they fucked up with the audio and that streamers are going to have a tough time capturing from this thing and getting any kind of quality audio out of it because they removed features. And Sony doesn't want to hear that. Sony doesn't want me to tell you guys that. If I get the console early, they just want me to kiss its butt. That's why I'm not going to do it, okay? Hope you understand that.
Phil, I don't know who the hell you believe yourself to be, but the only notoriety you have of being a streamer is being the guy who filmed himself jerking off in front of a live audience.
You know, every inch of my dick and balls.
It's the guy watching his Twitch.
Is that really him?
The only time a big gaming corporation ever decided to bring your name up was just to make you the butt of a joke. Anytime a company or a person tries to sponsor your streams, because of that same notoriety you're bragging about, it's basically like committing career suicide. So I would bet my life that Sony wouldn't have sent you shit, let alone even know who the fuck you was. Anyway, on November 14, 2020, Phil was able to receive his PS5 live on stream, meaning he didn't have a 4-day delay, and all that whining was for absolutely nothing. But hey, now that he has the PS5, surely this is gonna save his streams going forward. This is gonna bring in a whole new crowd with open wallets, ready to watch him play the hot new releases. Now all he has to do is unbox the console and get everything. Holy fuck, what is that? I guess Phil has never heard of cable management before. I mean, look at this mess. I guess this is what a professional office is supposed to look like, especially after all that supposed cleaning him and Kat did after the vet streak ended. Anyway, this stream highlighted just how clueless this nigga was when it came to technology. The very first thing this dude did taking the PS5 out the box was dropping the controller right on the console and causing a scratch to appear.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. The very first time, it's the DualSense control. This is the DualSense controller. Oh, great. Well, I scratched the side of my PlayStation 5. I actually did. I scratched the side of my PlayStation 5. I did. I'm not kidding. I scratched it. There's a big scratch mark on the side of my PS5. Well, oh well. Okay. So, first of all, let me show you the nice scratch I got on my console. So, I wasn't kidding. Here's the console. You see it? I already scratched it. I didn't even boot it and I scratched it already. Fucking shit. I'm sure I could buff that out. I'm sure I could buff it out. But anyway.
Another thing this moron was having trouble with was getting the console set up with his streaming software. You would think a guy who has been doing this kind of thing for as long as he has would at least know how to do something. But this dude had to be handheld by his chat for pretty much everything.
Alright, so. First of all, I gotta get my TV on. Alright? Television on. And, here we go. What's gonna happen? We're about to find out. Okay, the controller's powering up, I think. No. No, it's not. The controller pulsated, did nothing, and turned off. What the fuck? How do I tell if this thing's on? So here's what's happening. I can't show you because the cable's not long enough. Okay? So the controller, I'm assuming the controller's supposed to already be synced with the PlayStation 5. I press the button, the PlayStation button, and it glows blue. It goes like blue, 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 and then it turns off. It doesn't seem to stay on. Okay? You have to sync it. It's plugged in. It is plugged in via USB. It's plugged in via the front USB port. Power on the PS5 first. Oh, okay. I got to go push the power button on the front of the PS5 first. Let me go do that. All right.
And after all the waiting with getting the PS5 finally set up, being the real streamer that he was, he gave his fans just an hour of gameplay before he had to call it quits for the night.
This is where I'm going to call it quits for the very first gameplay ever on PlayStation 5. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Truly a remarkable streamer, even though there were other people who showcased way more of what the PS5 was capable of. DSP will always be one of a kind. On November 18, 2020, the Game Awards was of course going to announce the Game of the Year, and on that list of games that were nominated was Naughty Dog's The Last of Us 2. Now for a quick summary. The Last of Us 2 went under some major controversy due to lackluster story writing, and the overwhelming amount of crunch hours the employees of Naughty Dog had to go through. You see, the story of The Last of Us 2 wanted to showcase the consequences of chasing after revenge. But not only did it fail to get this point across, it also killed off a very respected character to the series, Joel, who was beaten to death by a steroid-abusing girl named Abby out of revenge for her father's death. And if that wasn't bad enough, it then forced players to play as Abby for a good portion of the story. Now, besides questionable storytelling, there were a lot of aspects about the game that would be considered woke or too uncomfortable to some gamers, and especially the DSP.
Abby.
I told you, two fucking idiots. Terrible writing. It's the most cliche fucking writing possible, is what it is. Oh, this is delightful. Neil Druckmann, ladies and gentlemen. Neil fucking Druckmann. This is what he wanted in his game. Remember Last of Us 1? All those really gratuitous sex scenes that were in that game? How great that game was because of it?
And to say DSP wasn't happy to hear that this game had a high chance of winning Game of the Year would be an understatement.
First of all, I just need to reiterate something I reiterate every year, all right? Because people don't seem to understand it. But much like the Oscars or any other kind of big award shows, the Game Awards are not official, and in reality, they don't mean anything. The Game Awards are just a way for the industry to kind of celebrate itself and to give credit where credit is due, where they feel that people really worked their asses off that year making great games, and that's all well and good. But people who treat the Game Awards as if they are the Bible truth, undisputable fact about video games need to get a reality check, because that is not the case. Everyone has different tastes. Everyone has different opinions. Everyone is welcome to those tastes and opinions. And just because the Game Awards says this was the best game in this category this year doesn't actually mean that that's objective, okay? All the nominees for the Game Awards were announced, and of course, even though there's many different categories for people to vote on, the one that everyone's talking about is going to be the Game of the Year nominees, okay? So the Game of the Year nominees for 2020 are as follows: Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and The Last of Us 2. Okay? Now, I have a few things to say about this. First of all, out of that listing, I don't think I disagree with a single game. I don't. I think that every game there, for various different reasons, deserves to be on that list. But with these nominees as is, let's be honest here. There was one game this year that was incredibly polarizing among gamers, all right? Some people absolutely loved it, and some people absolutely fucking hated it. I found myself somewhere around the middle, but just because I had actual valid criticisms of the game, people categorized me as some kind of a villain because I didn't kiss the game's butt. The game I'm talking about is The Last of Us 2. All right? I went off on this game many times this year, and I really don't have to do so again. But I had valid criticisms of this game, but just because I did, people categorized me as some kind of a misogynist hater who doesn't like characters who aren't males as protagonists of a game. You can't handle strong women. You can't handle transgender characters. You can't handle non-binary characters, and that's why you hate the game. If you actually listen to my criticisms of The Last of Us 2, none of that happened. None of that. Okay? Zero. My criticisms were very valid. I hated the story. I thought it was a miserable mess that was not fun to play because the writing was so ham-handed and they attempted to basically make you feel miserable the entirety of the game for the sake of art rather than realizing that video games are supposed to be fun. This game was not fun for me. Okay? That's my take. And I very well outlined my reasonings as to why many times during the course of this year. But just because I didn't like The Last of Us 2 as much as so many other people seemed to, that's it. I'm some kind of an ultra-conservative devil who just hates all women and that, you know, and this was kind of the straw man argument that was used in 2020 for anyone who presented a valid criticism of The Last of Us 2. It was basically just, if you don't like the game, it's because you're some kind of a fucking misogynist. You don't like representation in games. Like, what are you talking about? No, 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 no. I enjoyed the representation that was in Last of Us 2. I just didn't like the insane amount of gore, the over-the-top murders, the fact that the game puts the protagonists against each other and tries to make you like one character that just is not likable based on the writing, and then they have to kill each other at the end of the game, which is fucked up. It's like the whole game is misery. That's not fun to me. To being forced to being miserable and do miserable things is not a fun game experience to me. That's my take. That doesn't mean I'm some kind of a fucking misogynist. Like, what are you talking about? Where anywhere in my actual criticisms of the game did any of that ever come up? Not once. But that's it. There's this liberalist agenda behind The Last of Us 2 that anyone who had a criticism of the game, the criticism's invalid because you're just a misogynist or you don't believe in representation. Like, that's not the case, but that's what they used as their plot armor this year. That's their armor this year. We got to hide behind this, okay? So my concern, obviously, when you look at The Last of Us 2 is games journalists loved this game. 10 out of 10, best game of the generation. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? If you actually look at common opinion on Last of Us 2, it's very mixed. There's some people who loved it and some people who legitimately hated it for valid reasons. And you can't just dismiss this giant group of people who didn't like the game because it's a liberalist game. You just can't do that. Logical people don't do that. I look at these game nominations and I say, these are all well and good, and I agree with everyone that they should all be nominated for Game of the Year for a various reason or reasons. But if you have a weighted amount of consideration for a group of people who, mostly games journalists, kissed the living shit out of The Last of Us 2's ass and gave it perfect scores, 10 out of 10, when the game had lots of flaws that they ignored because of their liberalist agenda, okay? That makes me worried this game will be, by default, voted in as Game of the Year, even if all the common votes say otherwise, right? Just because you give a weighted advantage to the liberalist journalists out there, oh, Last of Us 2 is Game of the Year no matter what.
So in all honesty, we all know that the Game Awards are completely meaningless. Even Phil has came to that revelation. But for someone who doesn't give a shit about the Game Awards, he sure puts a lot of time spazzing out about one of his nominees. In fact, he went on Twitter to further rant about these so-called journalists and their agendas. Hey Jeff, could the people allowed to vote actually be real gamers instead of so many journalists with agendas? That way actually great games on this list have a chance, instead of just The Last of Us 2, which was disproportionately liked by gaming media, while actual gamers were mixed. Thanks. The only thing this accomplished for DSP was once again making him a figure of ridicule. As you can see, people were not happy with his take on the Game Awards, and this led to him whining on his pre-stream the next day about people being mean on Twitter.
Alright, the reason I bring this up is because in the last 24 hours, I have been bombarded with tweets from ignorant people who think that just because someone doesn't think that The Last of Us is a Game of the Year contender or didn't like it, that their opinion doesn't matter, that the opinion is unqualified, that you're a misogynist, that you're a sexist, that you're a racist, a bigot. I mean, this is the actual narrative that's being pushed on the internet because people who like The Last of Us 2 have pushed such an agenda down everyone's throats that, oh, The Last of Us 2, it has tons of representation. The Last of Us 2 takes artistic risks with the plot. So if you don't like it, it must be because you're just some kind of a very, very biased and ignorant bigot. And obviously that's not the case. People have the right to not like something, especially if they can justify it. All right? Example here is when I didn't like The Last of Us 2, I made an hour-long review explaining the critical flaws in the storytelling of the game. The fact that the characters were completely misrepresented from the way that they were represented in the first game. The way that the pacing absolutely ruined the game because it was just paced poorly and the writing could have been reorganized to make it a much more enjoyable game. But because of the way that the game was paced, it just wasn't enjoyable to me. All right? Now, that's just two of the main plot things that make the game unenjoyable to me. There's many other things. But I did an hour-long review about it, right? And when you actually say on the internet, I didn't like The Last of Us 2 and I don't think it's Game of the Year, and then people attack you and you say, well, here's my justification as to why, they say, oh, I don't want to watch your content. I don't care about your opinion. It's like, what? Wait a minute. You're going to attack me because I said that your game that you love, that you're a fanboy for, isn't Game of the Year material, in my opinion. Here's my justification why. I don't want to hear your justification. So you're an idiot. Because if you're going to bother stepping up to argue and defend something, then you have to be able to consciously and intelligently listen to other people's justifications of it. You have to be open-minded. Or else you're the closed-minded bigot because you refuse to listen to other people's perspectives. Okay? I was told in the last 24 hours on Twitter that because I'm white and a white male, that my opinion doesn't matter. I'm not kidding. I was told that because I'm a white male and my opinion doesn't matter, that also I can't be ever judged in a racist way because I'm white. What? Someone said my opinion doesn't matter because I'm white, and then when I said, well, that's kind of racist, they said, oh, you can't, you know, you're a clown if you think that white people can be judged in a racist way. What? But you just did it. But you see what I'm saying? Like, this is just, it's insane, the amount of shit that these people throw at you. And the funny part about all this is, I'm not conservative. I want you guys to understand something. First of all, this is not a political discussion. It's not. But I'm not a conservative. All right? It's not like I'm a staunch registered Republican and I vote for Republican conservative beliefs. I'm not. I'm very liberal. I've told you guys on my streams many times, I am very accepting of people of all races, creeds, genders, sexualities. I don't care. I want everyone to just be happy on this planet and have a good life. Everyone's entitled to their own happiness as long as they don't try to hinder and step on other people's safety or beliefs or happiness, then that's fine. I don't understand what these people actually think that because I don't like The Last of Us 2, that I'm some kind of like crazy staunch liberal. Well, that's not true. But this is the actual narrative that has been created around The Last of Us 2, okay? And so when those Game of the Year Awards nominees were announced yesterday, and I tweeted Jeff Keighley and I said, hey, would it be possible to actually have real gamers vote on this instead of just some kind of a select group of journalists who have some kind of a weighted opinion on it? Because I really get the feeling it won't be fair because these journalists kissed the game's butt for all the wrong reasons. You know, journalists who said, this is the best game ever because it's a very risky artistic plot. Or, this game's great because of its representation. You know, those things that real gamers don't care about. You know, people who actually work hard to earn money and then they go out and they buy a game with their own hard-earned money. Most people who do that are expecting a fun experience. An experience that when they play it, they're like, wow, I had a ton of fun playing that game because that's the point of gaming. Now, wow, I played a 20-hour misery porn game where I was miserable the entire time. Everyone just killed each other who I liked. And the game is gory as fuck. And now I feel terrible for playing it. You know, that's the difference here. Okay, but that's the thing that these journalists don't understand because they're not that. They're not using their money to buy the game. So when they play the game, they can look for these esoteric things that a regular gamer isn't looking for, right? They don't even care about the fun factor of the game. They just care about, oh, wow, was there some really artistic different thing in this game? Oh, 10 out of 10. What? Was the game fun to play? Yes or no? Fun, what's that? Well, you're a gaming journalist. You should be rating the game on fun factor because that's what your fucking audience cares about. If they're having fun playing. Oh, I don't care about that, but it was really cool that there was a really strong woman in the game. What? The fuck are you talking about? What it did was it created this almost inclusive club of you're either with us or you're against us. Either you like this game and you're woke, or you hate this game and you're a bigot. And there was no in between, which is impossible. How is it that I can justify my opinion that I don't like the game? I said, I can justify it because I wrote a giant review about it, right? A giant review explaining why I didn't like the game, okay? And, all my opinions justify. What happened? Oh, you're a bigot. What? How am I a bigot? What are you even talking about, right?
I love how DSP always tries to give his insight on the sheep mentality, when the same mentality could be applied to him and his followers. Anytime you try to come to him and his fans with some kind of evidence of him being a terrible streamer, his fans will always try to come up with some sort of excuse to justify his behavior. I also find it pretty hilarious that this dude really has the gall to say that you should respect another person's opinion, but the second you disagree with what he's saying, you're labeled as an ignorant fanboy of Naughty Dog. So on November 21st, 2020, during a stream of Call of Duty Cold War, Phil supposedly claimed that he was having some controller issues, mainly with the right analog stick.
Thanks for the melee attack I didn't do, you stupid game. I appreciate it. Again with this shit that I didn't fucking do. It keeps doing it. I'm not clicking in to do a melee. It's way too sensitive, man. It keeps happening. That is a major problem with the PS5 controller. Why did they make it so fucking sensitive? Yeah, it's not very useful. It just keeps doing the crouch over and over, guys. It's really frustrating. It's either the crouch or the melee over and over because the thumbstick is too fucking sensitive. Why they made it this sensitive, I have no idea. Again, you saw what happened. I was firing on him and my guy went prone. I didn't do it. It's the thumbstick. It thinks I'm cleaning it in and holding it. That's insane. Jaggerlee sent me another $2.30 tip and said you should change the controller tactical to layout. The controller layout to tactical if it's a problem. Melee on circle should be default anyways. But then what would I use to crouch? Would it be the thumbstick? Because here's the problem. Then I'm gonna be crouching constantly by accident. Every time I go to shoot, I'm gonna crouch and miss my shot, and it's just as bad then, right? It's just as fucking bad. So the problem is the thumbstick needs to just stop fucking doing it. It needs to basically be what it is. Likely the thumbstick's too new, and so it's not worn in yet. And once it's worn in, it'll stop being so sensitive. But right now, since it's brand new, it's like super duper sensitive, and that's probably the problem. Did he die? No, I shot him, but again I dropped because the thumbstick doesn't work, so it made me drop, so I couldn't see if he had died or not, and then I die. It's fucking so lame. The controller does not work. As you saw, it never stopped. The thumbstick never stopped malfunctioning. All night, the thumbstick was malfunctioning. The entire 3 hours that I played tonight, it was just either melee attack over and over or crouching over and over. And that really sucks. That does really suck. I hope this fixes itself. I don't know what else to do besides buy another controller, but aren't they $80 or something crazy like that, right? Like they're $80. So I'm probably gonna have to, honestly, I'm probably gonna have to buy another controller this coming week. Like, I go to a store on Tuesday and see if anyone has one. This just blows though.
Now just to note that the PS5 was only 2 weeks old by the time he was having these alleged issues. Now I know Sony controllers aren't built to last that long, but 2 weeks is definitely way too early to start going through stick drift. But nonetheless, after this stream ended, Phil took to Twitter to announce that he had added a brand new PS5 controller to his wish list on Amazon. He followed up by making an audio only tweet where he continued to beg his fans to buy him a new controller.
Now, today it became apparent my DualSense controller, sadly, is faulty. The right thumbstick auto activates all the time when I'm playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It became super frustrating tonight. I even tried swapping melee attack for crouch, and now I'm crouching all the time instead of doing melee attacks inadvertently. It basically makes it incredibly frustrating and nearly unplayable. Looks like I need a new controller. I've added a DualSense controller to my Amazon wish list, which you can check out if you go over to my Twitch channel. If you'd like to help out, by all means, please give it a look and consider getting me one. If you do get me one, let me know you're doing it, so that way I don't end up with a bunch of people all buying me a controller and I end up with too many. All right, but if not, looks like probably this coming week on my day off, I might have to go out and see if I can find one and buy one, because it's pretty much just nonstop annoyance. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. See you tomorrow.
When he was rightfully called out for e-begging, he went on stream the next day to try to explain the difference between being a panhandler and doing crowdfunding.
Now, last night, when all this came to light while I was playing the game, I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on my Amazon wish list, because someone actually suggested that on this late stream. They said, Phil, if you really need a new controller, which it looks like you do, why don't you just put it on your Amazon wish list? Maybe someone will get it for you. Okay, so I did. And it was that simple. I just put it on the wish list, done. And I posted it up on Twitter. Hey guys, my controller broke. If you want to help out, it's on my Amazon wish list or whatever. You know, if not, I'll buy one later this week. Somehow that means that, like, the internet trolls have to come out in droves to try to shit on me, saying stupid things like, oh, you can't just get it yourself. You're e-begging again. Why would you put this on an Amazon wish list? And, you know, the dumbest shit. Really, the dumbest fucking shit. Now, I just want you guys to think about something, all right? Just thinking logically. Just very logically, all right? My stream is both my hobby and my business, correct? Everyone knows that. I love games. I played games before I ever made content for the internet. I actually made content for the internet for 2.5 years before I ever monetized anything, and before it became my job. I fell into this by accident. I didn't ever intend to make internet gaming content for a living, but it just so happened that way, okay? But it's both something I love to do, and I would probably do if I didn't make a living doing it, but I also make a living doing it, okay? So that means that when you are watching my streams and you contribute, you're directly contributing to my business, right? So I want to ask you a question. If all of my income comes from people crowdfunding my business, which is correct, I stream, you guys contribute, that's how I make my living. That's my job. That's my income. What is the difference between me taking contributions from streams and buying a DualSense controller with it, or putting it on my Amazon wish list and someone going and buying the Amazon controller off my wish list and sending it to me? Okay? There is none. They're both contributions from my audience who like the content I put out. They want me to have a working controller, so they contribute so that I can have a working controller. There's no difference at all. But people are stupid. So they think that me putting this on my Amazon wish list somehow is some kind of unexceptional e-begging, because Phil already makes a living streaming, so why would he put this on his wish list? It doesn't make any sense. It's called stupidity, is what it's called. There's no logic to it. It's just, oh my God, Phil asked for something else. How dare he? Well, fuck you. You're an idiot. You just want to spin everything into a negative. It's either, okay, people contribute on the streams and I use the contributions to buy the controller, or someone actually just directly buys the controller instead of giving me the contribution on a stream. Wow, what a difference.
This is one of the only times where I kinda agree with what Phil is saying. There really isn't that much of a difference in the methods of obtaining that controller. But no matter how much DSP tries to put on this facade of running the business, all of it is borderline e-begging at the end of the day. And what he always seems to forget is that he's a guy making 6 figures a month sitting on his ass playing video games all day, but truly expects one of his fans to cough up $70 out of their pocket to pay for his controller. Wouldn't it just be easier to do the so-called crowdfunding instead of hoping someone would just come out and pay for it? Well, I guess that would be me expecting too much out of Phil's simple-minded fan base, cause that kind of thinking didn't occur to the dumbass who went out and actually paid for his controller.
And by the way, I should say, yes, someone did order a new DualSense controller for me off my Amazon wishlist earlier today, which I'm really appreciative of. Supposedly it's coming early next week. I'm waiting for confirmation when it ships, but I'll let you guys know and I'll try that out. And hopefully that's going to work better with Cold War for me, so I don't constantly get melee or crouch.
And as expected, the next time he booted up Cold War, he started having the same damn problems he was having with the first controller.
Oh no, come on! I swear I didn't do that! Please number $19 million to try holding the controller a bit softer. I am. If you didn't notice, that round, it only happened once by accident. I do feel like the thumbstick is better. I mean, some of it's definitely me having to get used to it, but I definitely think the thumbstick is better here. That's bullshit. Come on. See, I get the feeling it's a combination. The controller is overly sensitive in this game, for whatever reason, but it's also me, and what I need to do is help myself but now to not be as jumpy in this game, because I'm jumpy. I see people going, oh god, and I go like this, and the next thing you know, it's a melee attack, right? So I have to train myself to not be as jumpy and be lighter with the thumbsticks. At the same time, definitely this controller isn't doing it as much as the other one. The other one was doing it like every 5 seconds.
Team deathmatch.
Right? This one is doing it way less at least. Oh, I got it again by accident. I did get the kill, but...
Sentry turrets active.
Again! Come on! Oh! It's so frustrating! Again! I'm not clicking this fucking thing. I'm not clicking it at all. It's not even close to a click. Stop doing that! I'm not clicking! I am not clicking this thumbstick. Not once have I clicked it. Just because I'm aiming quickly doesn't mean I'm clicking a button. Jesus H. Christ. This is fucking stupidity. Again with this fucking piece of shit. Come on. Never once have I meleeed. Not once. Alright. So thanks to everyone who did contribute tonight. I really don't know what to do anymore. I guess I'm just going to have to leave it on tactical. And I guess every time I play this, I'm just going to get endless clicks of the thumbstick. There just doesn't seem to be a way to fix it. And it seems like it's a major problem with the game for me. I don't know why it does this. I've tried 2 controllers. Xeals does it. When I play on PS4, it doesn't do it. It only does it on PS5. So, all that means is that the controller on PS5 is way too, it's way too sensitive. And there's no way to fix it. Right? At least now, there's no setting in the game to stop it from endlessly clicking. At least with tactical, I'm crouching and go up and down. It's a little better than the melee attack constantly. So I'm going to leave it on tactical mode for sure. But that's pretty disappointing that I buy a new game and actually playing worse on the next gen console than it is on the last gen console because of this stupid shit, right? This stupid issue. So that's really stupid.
And let's face facts, you really can't be surprised about this because he's been making the same fucking excuse for over a decade. The fact that people would actually sit here and believe that he was dealing with a faulty controller that was only 2 weeks old is beyond me. So at the end of the day, this was yet another scam pulled off in great succession thanks to a big wallet, but not enough brains to go with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, as promised, it is time for my very first hands-on experience with the PlayStation 5 as a gaming console. It's time for the best game of 2020. Bugsnax. We're doing it.
Bugsnax is a game that was one of the launch titles for the PS5, and DSP had immediately taken a great liking to this game. Some people thought the reason why he loved it so much was because the game wasn't really all that challenging, and the story was simple enough for even his pig brain to keep up with. Well, being so invested into the story, he actually went overtime to do the finale. But one of his pay pigs at the time, Ninstar Rune, was sending cheers that was speculating about the ending of the game, and with Phil ignoring his messages, this only caused him to send more, calling out DSP for his neglect. Now I don't know if this dude was serious or just baiting for a reaction, but these constant interruptions were enough to push Phil to his breaking point, and he lashed out against Ninstar Rune and a few others right there on stream.
Ninstar Rune, I'm just not going to respond to you anymore because you're trying to make an exciting finale of the game all about you. What the fuck, dude? Just grow the fuck up. Seriously, I mean it. I'm in the middle of a game that's really exciting ending. I'm trying to get into it. Oh, Phil's not reading every cheer I am and micro-analyzing, and this could all be a figment of someone's imagination. Shut the fuck up. Seriously, shut up. You're stupid. Okay.
Come on now.
Okay. Hold on a second. I mean it too. Hold on. Sorry, I mean to hit that. Since people are intent on ruining the playthrough, because this is what they're trying to do, you can all get the fuck out now. So here we go. Get out. Like, I don't know that you're all from the same group of people. Like, I don't know who you really are anyway. Even though you've been in here the past few days cheering and shit, like, I don't know who you all are. Okay. So here we go. But don't worry, because these people will be back begging to come back. They will. They'll be begging to come back within a day. Oh, why did Phil? I wish that didn't happen. Oh, man. I'm in the finale of a game, action-packed finale of a game that people were wondering what the heck this game was. We just got a huge twist, really exciting finale. I'm going overtime on my stream to finish the game for everyone. Let's just distract everyone and do... Oh, he's not reading every cheer that I'm doing immediately. It's a little brat mentality. Shut the fuck up. The stream's not about you. Now you got other people. Why would you talk to him like that? No, you're out of here. Enough is enough. All I want to do is enjoy the end of the game. That's it. And if you're going to act like that, then just don't come back. And I mean it. Every one of them in there that are acting like that, just don't come back. I don't need you here. We're here to have fun and have a fun gameplay stream. I can ignore a cheer if I feel like it because we're in the middle of an action-packed segment. And I would shout it out later. Not, oh my god, why does it feel reading my cheer immediately and then try to get a whole mob to distract me during the finale. So now I had to stop playing for a minute to let this cool down. Alright? Enough. I don't want to hear these fucking idiots acting like dumb shits on my stream trying to derail it. It's against the rules, and you know that. So, goodbye and good riddance. And don't come back. Don't begging tomorrow, oh, can I come back to the stream? No, you're an asshole. The stream's not about you. Jesus H. Christ, dude. Okay. Now, let's all relax. I want to see how the game ends, alright? I'm excited to see how this ends, alright? I've been waiting for the end of this for a long time here. And I'm not going to have it ruined by a bunch of idiots. Here we go. Here's more. Okay, goodbye. Okay. Who's next? Anyone left? Are we good now? Hopefully we're good now. Alright. Everyone ready to see the exciting ending of Bugstacks and not be distracted by a bunch of fucking little shits who are just being freaking obnoxious tonight? Good, because I am too. That's what I'm here for. That's why I've been playing the game for 2 weeks.
Upon finishing the game, Phil went on to talk more about Ninstar Room and the certain group of people who pretend to be his fans, but only follow his streams just to get a rise out of him.
Yes, and I'm aware that Will Moses was also one of... What it is, guys, so now since the playthrough's over, I'm not recording for YouTube, I can actually talk to you a little bit, honestly. Alright, there's a group of people in here, and they do tend to cheer, but they literally are in here because they also sit in detractor chats, and they sit in detractor circles, and what they try to do is they try to get a rise out of me. They'll try to get me to talk about stuff that has nothing to do with the stream. They'll try to get me to say stuff that gets me in trouble on Twitch. They think I don't know about this because they think I'm stupid, alright? I'm not. I know all about everything that happens. Alright, the people that tried to derail the stream tonight are that group of people. It's the people who, they're not really fans of mine. They watch, ironically, to try to get me to see, oh, what will Phil do stupid tonight? Oh, can I really annoy Phil tonight? Can I trigger Phil tonight? What can I do? That's who those people were. Alright? And so here you go, Woe Moses. No, you're not really Woe Moses. Alright? You are, because this is a spelling, a variation of a name that I used to use a million years ago. Alright? These are the people, they do this. They try to ruin shit. And they did. They almost did. Because fucking Instar wrote, oh, he's not reading my cheers. Yes, because your cheers are like, gee, I wonder if this is all in someone's head. Gee, I wonder if it's this or that. Dude, I'm in the big finale of the game. All the plots being revealed. We got action-packed sequences to try to keep everyone alive. You're trying to distract me with cheers, and then you're actually have the audacity to tell me I should just stop what I'm doing on my stream to read your derailing cheers in the middle of the finale of a fucking game that's been building for a long time, and we finally get this crazy twist, but you're more important than everyone watching and me playing. I need to derail it for you and your 50-bit share, okay? Here's what you can do, Ninstar Rune. You can go fuck yourself and never come back, and I mean that. Don't ever ask to come back because you're not the kind of person I want watching my streams. You're the person who tries to derail the stream constantly with nonsense, and I don't need your cheers to fucking survive. I can make do without Ninstar Rune being a 50-bit bitch and derailing my streams with negativity, nonsense, and stupid shit. We're all trying to have a good time on the stream, and we gotta be derailed by an idiot. Go fuck yourself. Don't ever come back. Alright? That simple. And it's the same thing. Woe Moses and Dalbath, you're all the same group. You come in here and you try to cheer and derail the streams constantly. I know you try to get me to say stuff to get me in trouble. Recently, they've been actually, if you can believe, the detractors have been trying to get me to mention one or two other streamers that I don't even know who they are, because they're trying to get me to get the streamer to then be angry at me and stuff. And these are people who are all involved in this, all right? I'm not stupid. I know what's going on, all right? And I know there's some more people sitting here right now who are also part of that group. Just because you didn't do anything tonight doesn't mean I'm stupid. I know who you are. The thing is that usually I put up with it. I understand that I have a group of viewers who like me for me and my content. Then there's a group of viewers who watch ironically to try to make fun of me and get me in trouble, all right? Everyone knows that, you know, it's if you're just not gonna fuck around and derail shit, usually I'm a very lenient person. Usually I'm a person who's not gonna care if there's people who are in here who don't really like me, but they're in here to basically make fun of me. But if you're gonna derail the finale of a fucking major new release video game, you're gone. And you're not coming back, and you're not welcome. And I mean that, like Ninstar Rune, you fucked up in a major way tonight, and I don't think you'll ever learn any differently, because you were in here to basically make fun of me constantly anyway. So, you see what I mean? But that's what I mean, and I apologize to you guys, because obviously, I don't want my streams to become derailed by people just because they think, because they're throwing me a few bits here or there. Oh, look, now I can completely derail Phil's stream, make him talk about off-topic shit, annoy him during a finale. You see what I'm saying? This is how these people are. This is their mentality. If I just throw a cheer, I can completely fuck Phil's stream up tonight. And I'm not going to play that game, all right? I'm just not. So, it's that simple, and I apologize to those of you who are maybe off-put tonight that the finale got a little bit derailed, and I apologize. I had to stop the stream to take care of that, all right? But now the good news is, a few people are gone, they're not coming back. Won't have to be derailed by that shit anymore, you know? I'm sorry, but it is if that's the mentality, I'm gonna watch a streamer's stream, but I'm gonna completely make the stream about me. You're like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you talking about, right? It's too much, man. It's just too much. It's too much annoyance. It's too much derailment. It's too much nonsense and trolling. And I've been doing this for 12 years. I know when people are trying to do it. You know, it's obvious. It's exactly what his agenda was tonight. I'm gonna keep doing 50-bit cheers that have nothing to do with anything. So, and he's gonna get angry because I'm not reading them right away. But I'm in an action-packed finale of a game. Get out and don't ever come back. Okay.
I believe this confirms the fact that Phil has certain people spy on detractor channels, just to see if any of his fans will be in their chats. And also, if he didn't want his stream to be derailed, all he had to do was ignore Ninstar Rune until the playthrough was over with, and then address the situation when all was said and done. But if Ninstar Rune's intentions were to derail the stream, then he fucking succeeded at that, cause you took the bait hook, line, and sinker. The term 50-bit bitch became a meme overnight in the detractor community. So on his pre-stream the next day, Phil decided to explain what the 50-bit bitch meme was, and tried to make it his own to sway the trolls from using it themselves. He also goes on to state that if someone tells him they're not gonna donate anymore, then he considers that a threat.
Now, before we get to shoutouts, I want to address a new meme that was spawned last night. It's definitely not a positive meme. But, of course, all my detractors jump on shit like this. So I am going to personally explain it to all of you. The 50-bit bitch meme. Yes. 50-bit bitch. Allow me to explain what happened last night. Last night, I was in the middle of finishing Bug Snacks. Which, if you were not here for the conclusion of Bug Snacks, holy shit. You've got to check it out over on YouTube on DSP Gaming. Shocking. Crazy twist ending, unexpected, but I was expecting something weird to happen the entire game. I really was. I just didn't know what it was going to be. And the ending was like, wow, jaw-dropping, okay? So I'm in the midst of this crazy, jaw-dropping, action-packed segment, and I mean, like, it's super important that you pay attention to the segment, because actual characters from the game could actually die if you don't pay attention. Let's put it that way. Okay? You have to be paying attention and know what you're doing. During this segment, we had someone who cheered, a 50-bit cheer, who had some theories about the end of the game. In fact, they had cheered multiple times 50 bits with all these different theories about the end of the game while it's happening. Okay? Now, first of all, having theories about the end of the game is a cool way to interact with the stream if you're not in the end of the game. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's actually unfolding in front of our eyes. And this person just kept cheering little cheers and saying, oh, I wonder if this is what it is. I wonder if this is what it is. It's like, dude, we're seeing it now. Just chill out and relax and we can watch it all together. So I'm trying to give shout outs to this guy constantly. He cheered 2 or 3 times about this during the actual ending of the game when we're all just trying to focus on the end of the game. All right. Then he cheered once during the actual ending segment of the game where you have to pay attention or people will die. So I'm hyper-focused. And this guy got so angry at me for not immediately shouting out his cheer. I think it had been like 5 minutes. And I hadn't given him a shout out. He cheers again and says, well, I guess I just shouldn't ever contribute ever again, man, because you're not acknowledging my cheers. It's, you know, basically complaining and saying I'm being disrespectful to him for not derailing the entire stream and the entire ending sequence of the game to read his cheers that aren't even pertinent because they're about his assumptions about the ending of the game that we're seeing happen. You don't need to assume what's going on in the game when it's actually happening in front of you. All right? So basically, he does this. And then immediately, other people trying to jump on a piling on bandwagon about it. And I just had enough. So I banned them because I was like, dude, I'm not going to put up with this. Number one, I'm not going to be threatened on my own stream. You're threatening. You'll never contribute again because I didn't immediately give you a shout out. That's incredibly, what's the word for it? Entitled, right? So all that being said, then I went on and I finished the game. And most people appreciated that, who were into the game. They were like, dude, you're right. Like, these people were just derailing everything, and we just wanted to see the end of the game. Now, when the credits, after the credits had rolled and everything, all right, I was explaining myself, and I was saying, acting like that makes you I made a funny meme. I said, oh, you're a 50-bit bitch. Just because you cheer 50 bits, all of a sudden you think you own the stream, and you demand things, that's being a bitch. That's like bitching constantly about stupid shit. I mean, who cares about me reacting to a cheer immediately in the middle of the most action-packed, dangerous segment of the game, right? That's talk about being entitled, all right? So I called it 50-bit bitch, and of course everyone latched onto that and started memeing it all over, you know, all the detractor channels and everything. Oh, 50-bit bitch. Of course, they're saying the opposite. They're trying to say, oh, it's because Phil's ungrateful to his viewers, and he's saying that anyone who cheers 50 bits, oh, it doesn't matter. Of course, that's not the case at all. As I told you guys, I appreciate every single contribution that comes in, but you can't make the whole stream about you just because you cheered. It's the same thing for people who contribute in any other way. It's the same thing for people like Tutankhamun, who years ago came onto this stream, and because he tipped and he was giving giant cheers, he thought that now the stream was all about him, and he tried to control the stream. That didn't last very long. He got banned, and then, of course, he tried to charge back everything because he's an asshole. All right? So that's the truth of the matter is, no, sorry, if it doesn't fly back then, it doesn't fly now. And the fact that this would happen during a climactic moment of a playthrough that's super duper interesting and one of the best games of 2020. Yes, I'll say that again. Bug Snacks is legitimately one of the best games of 2020, in my opinion, of course. But anyway, yeah, it's not going to fly if you try to do it then. All right? So that's what happened. Now, overnight, this person who caused all of this drama immediately wrote me a apology email stating that they didn't intend for it to be like that. They looked back and they realized what they did is very wrong. And they certainly should not have threatened me the way that they did. And they apologized. And not only did they apologize and say, hey, can I be unbanned? They said, you know, it's also kind of messed up because some of my friends came to my defense on the stream, and you banned them so that the stream wouldn't be further derailed, but I'd like them to be unbanned too. All right? So I did. I unbanned that person, and I unbanned the other people, although one of them, their account doesn't even exist anymore. It's been deactivated. So the guy got so upset, apparently he deactivated his whole fucking Twitch account. Figure that one out. But yeah, anyone who was banned last night for that is already unbanned, and the whole thing's already done with. Okay? It's done with. So the truth is, there's no drama. Everything's resolved. All right? Of course, as you know, the shithead detractors won't act like that. They'll act like this is some kind of an ongoing dramatic thing, even though the whole thing is over with, and, you know, not a big deal. All right? I'm happy the way that it unfolded, because if I kept pausing to give shout-outs to 50-bit cheers in the middle of a climactic segment, the whole thing would have been disjointed, derailed, and not entertaining to the viewing audience or me. I'm happy that it had to unfold like that, but sadly, sometimes you just have to fucking take charge of a stream. You can't just let it be completely derailed, and then next thing you know, a whole playthrough that I've been playing for 2 weeks is ruined. All right? So That's what happened. That's what the 50-bit bitch meme is.
And all of this happened over a fucking kids game. A game that Phil considers Game of the Year for 2020. Apparently a game that was over The Last of Us 2, and even Ghost of Tsushima. He even goes on to praise the game more on Twitter. Well, holy crap. I just went long and completed the story of Bugsnax tonight. No joke, it's one of the best games of 2020. I'm gonna do a late night chill stream to try and platinum it in the future. Now uploading the shocking conclusion to DSP Gaming. Kat and I just watched the end of a Bugsnax playthrough. It was super sad because this person managed to get someone killed. And when it ended, she said, "I can't believe how good this game was." Exactly my thoughts. It's seriously one of the best written games I've played in years. Just realized that Bugsnax has far better storytelling, plot, and characters than The Last of Us 2. And quite frankly, almost all other games this year. Yet wasn't nominated anywhere because, you know, it's a QC Kids game. After completing Bugsnax, I can absolutely say there is no way this game is for kids. Some people asked tonight, why is it marketed that way? When was it? The reveal trailer itself felt like something weird was going on, especially at the end. People just assumed differently. I don't know what the hell DSP found so fascinating about this game, but the fact that a simple interruption made him that angry was just incredible to witness, especially since it was over a game that was meant for literal children. But I guess I'm just too dumb to understand the complexity of a game like Bugsnax, cause after all, Phil is a special case indeed. Alright guys, thank you for staying all the way to the end. I hope you guys enjoyed this movie link fucking video. I believe I'll let the next video be decided in a poll, since I feel viewer engagement is always the best route to take. And speaking about viewer engagement, let's take a moment to say thank you to our patrons. Sexy Mustang 10, Parker St. Pierre, Storm Kelly, Extra Galactic, and Venna Kills. Without you guys, I can't afford my caffeine habits, so thanks for chipping in. I also want to thank my channel members, Slamson, Blooper World Order, Rod Drake, and The Alchemist Official. All of your support is greatly appreciated. I'm planning on making this video a premiere, so if there were any people who donated or became a member while watching, I want to give thanks to you as well. Alright brothers, I think you heard enough of me for today. I'll see you in the next vid, and I'll definitely see you for part 17. Until then, peace.
Where's the stuff, Planky? Fess up! Oh, silent, huh?